The childhood. The teacher in Bommeparthi refused to enroll Satyanarayana in his school because of his naughty behavior. Shastri had to enroll him in a school in Ayavaripalle, which was about 3 miles from their house. It ended up as punishment for Satyam, who had to walk that distance every day. With the lunchbox in hand, he would walk to school on time and return home on time. He did not refuse to go to school, which was an improvement which pleased his father. Shastri was happy to note this change in his son. He did not put any efforts to find out what lessons his son had learnt at school and what progress he had made in his studies. One day he met the school teacher in the street and casually asked him,
"How is my son doing at school?"
There was no sincere attempt to find out about his son's progress. It was just a routine question on meeting the teacher accidentally. The teacher replied sarcastically,
"Why does your son need to go to school? You are probably teaching him at home anyway. I have not seen him at school for the past whole month."
Shastri could not believe his ears. His son could not have bunked classes for a whole month. He came home and asked his son if he was attending classes regularly.
"Yes, Dad. I go to school every day,"
was the innocent reply he received from Satyanarayana. Shastri believed his son. He was annoyed at the teacher for complaining about his son unnecessarily. The next day, after Satyanarayana left for school as usual, Shastri decided to follow his son and find out if he in fact went to school. There was a little pond in the village on the way to the school. Shastri saw 5 or 6 children swimming in that pond, and Satyanarayana was one of them. He got so mad, and not knowing what to do next, he returned home in a terrible temper. His wife was in the kitchen grinding some grains. By the look on his face, she knew that something was wrong. She went to him to find out. It was enough to cause a volcanic eruption. Jayalakshmi tried to say something, but he got mad at her.
"You teach your son moral stories, you sing him songs, and you play with him. Do you know what he is doing?" I could not believe my ears when the teacher complained that Satyam is not even attending school, and today I saw it with my own eyes.
He threw the grain that she was grinding all over the house and lost control over himself. As usual with the neighbors, they all gathered around, curious to find out what had happened. Some of them tried to calm him down. Satyanarayana coolly returned home that evening. Shastri was standing at the door, waiting for him. He shouted,
"Stop! Don't come inside. Get away from here."
"Dad, why are you so mad?"
Satyam asked with an innocent face. Shastri could not control himself anymore.
"Is the pond your school? Is swimming there your studies?"
He took a cane and started hitting Satyanarayana non-stop. Satyam started to scream loudly and tried to escape from the caning. Jayalakshmi tried to stop the caning, but in the process she received beatings. In his temper, even Shastri received beatings on his hands. The neighbors who gathered around tried to stop Shastri from hitting his son. Jayalakshmi made a gesture towards her son. He then fell at the feet of his father and said,
"Dad, I'm sorry. I won't do it again."
After a while, Shastri calmed down. That night he went to sleep, as if nothing had happened. The next day, by the time Satyanarayana woke up, Shastri was ready with his bag to go to work. He had completely forgotten the happenings of the previous day. Many parents do exactly what Shastri did. Once in a rare while, they show an interest in the studies of their children. At other times, they do not concern themselves at all. The children gradually learn to escape on such days by using some deceit. For the children to develop regular training, adults should set an example. Shastri did not set such an example. For that reason, Satyanarayana did not develop a great respect towards his father. That night, mother did not make any comment. Next day she asked him,
Should I be packing your lunch?
It was enough to bring tears to his eyes. He tried to give an explanation.
I already knew all the lessons, so I thought it's okay not to go to school.
He collected the lunchbox and went to school. The teacher asked Satyam.
Oh, so you did remember to come to school.
Satyam was arrogant in his reply.
You haven't seen me every day.
The teacher was angry and surprised.
How arrogant. Are you trying to be clever? Show me your books. Read yesterday's lessons.
To his surprise, Satyanarayana not only knew the lessons of the previous day, but he repeated the whole lesson from memory. The teacher was still angry.
How did you manage all this?
Satyanarayana showed him all the bruises he had received and asked the teacher,
How does it matter? Because I know all my lessons. You know, my dad has a very short temper. Still, you went and complained to him about me. Now see what happened? Do you see all my bruises? Are you happy now?
Seeing such terrible bruises on the body, the teacher really felt sorry. Trying to hide his emotions, the teacher asked,
Why couldn't you come to the classes? Why did you have to suffer these bruises? Your dad is really very rough, but I must say that what you did was wrong. Is that not so?
Affection was evident in his tone. The gentle approach of the teacher cooled down Satyanarayana's anger. He said,
Teacher, you never told me that missing school is wrong. How can you punish without telling me what I did wrong?
That was the reason for Satyanarayana's frustration, and that is why he was arrogant in the beginning. Parents have to learn the art of how to show their emotion in front of children. When they want to correct them, they must pretend anger. But when the children do things right, they must show their appreciation. Those who cannot do so do not really know how to teach children. After this episode, Jayalakshmi made it a point to ask,
Did you go to school? Let me look at your work.
Gradually, it became a routine, and even without being asked, Satyam started showing his schoolwork to his mother daily. Sometimes the children do not know why they are being punished. Genuinely, they consider that they have not done anything wrong that deserves punishment. They start developing animosity towards their elders. They behave harshly towards them and sometimes deliberately try to commit mistakes again. On one such occasion, Shastri was angry with his son and used the cane. Satyanarayana asked him,
What did I do wrong, Dad?
Shastri did not like being questioned, and as a result, Satyanarayana received more beatings. Like father in his temper, Satyam decided to walk out of the house. Seeing the son leaving the house without food upset the mother terribly. But she had no courage to confront her husband.
Let him go if he wants to. He can starve.
Shastri said to himself. Shastri was not bothered at all. Without any worry, he took a nap. When he did not see his son return by the evening, he started to get panicky.
I hope he has not harmed himself.
Just then he heard a farmer shouting from the street.
Yo, your son is walking briskly towards the railroad tracks.
Shastri ran out of the house towards his son, who was really walking towards the railway track.
Satyanarayana! Satyanarayana!
He reached his son quickly and embraced him and showered him with kisses. He was apologetic and said,
I am sorry. I will not hit you again. I will never hit you again.
He persuaded his son to come back home. Later on that day, his mother explained the reason for dad's anger. Satyanarayana admitted that he was wrong. Shastri genuinely loved his son. He did not know how to share this love or how to express it. That was the difference between the mother and the father.